All right, so you want to be a domestic cleaner. Seems like it. You got this whole RoleCatcher career guide, which is smart. Got to do your research, right?
Definitely. Got to know what you're getting into.
Right. And this guide is cool. It's like peeking behind the curtain before you even apply, you know?
Mm. Mm.
What I find interesting is it's not just about, like, knowing how to clean. It's way more nuanced than that.
Yeah, totally. And that's what's so great about this guide. It does a really good job of outlining what a day in the life is really like.
Right. Not just like ticking off chores from a list. It's more involved.
Absolutely. It's about creating an environment.
They even mention like handling delicate antiques. That's a long way from just, scrubbing a bathtub.
Right. Like that takes a certain level of care and attention. You're dealing with people's personal belongings, things they value.
It makes me think about the trust factor, You're in someone's personal space.
Yeah,
It's intimate in a way.
totally. It's about building a relationship, isn't it? That attention to detail, handling things with care, that's what builds a client's confidence. It's almost like being a caretaker of their home in a way.
Yeah, it's like you're not just cleaning, you're caring for their space.
Okay.
And that's a great point to bring up because the guide does mention the not so glamorous side too.
Right, right. Every job has its downsides.
Like, okay, the pay isn't, amazing starting out.
Right.
And yeah, there's going to be repetition. You're going to see a lot of dirty dishes in this line of work.
And that's the reality check I think a lot of people need. Those are common challenges, especially in service-based roles. It's the trade-off, right?
What do you mean?
Well, you often have more flexibility and control over your schedule, maybe even who you work for, but it comes with potentially lower earning potential at the start.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So
Okay.
it's all about weighing those pros and cons,
Yeah.
seeing what matters most to you.
Exactly.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting to me. RoleCatcher, they're not just career guides anymore.
Yeah.
They're like career coaches now, too. They've got this whole platform for job seekers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're using AI, which is kind of wild.
It is why it's really fascinating to see how technology is like disrupting even traditional fields like cleaning, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Like, how does that even work?
Well, they use AI to help tailor your CV, which, I mean, that's becoming more and more common these days.
Right.
But get this, they're also using it to predict potential interview questions
Wait, what? Hold up. They're predicting interview questions.
based on the specific job description. Yeah.
So you could walk in, like, feeling super prepared. That's next level stuff.
Right. It's like
Right.
having a sneak peek at the test before you take it. And this is where it gets really interesting from a strategy standpoint.
It really makes you wonder, is this the future of job hunting? Like, how much of an edge does AI really give you?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It definitely levels the playing field in terms of access to information, preparation. Imagine someone with like zero experience in cleaning
Right.
could potentially walk into an interview feeling as prepared as someone who's been doing it for years.
Just from this AI giving them a heads up on the questions, that's kind of mind-blowing. But then there's got to be more to it than just knowing what they might ask, right?
Exactly. Think of it like this. The AI might give you the ingredients,
Okay.
but you still need to know how to bake the cake, you know?
Yeah.
It's your skills, your experience, how you articulate those that ultimately like wins over the interviewer.
Right. So it's like
Mhm.
AI can give you a boost, but it's not going to do the whole job for you. You
Exactly.
still got to bring your A game.
Yes.
And speaking of skills, this is where the RoleCatcher guide gets really insightful. They list, like, attention to detail, time management, which, okay, that makes sense in a cleaning context,
Mm-hmm.
but then they also emphasize communication.
Yes. And that's what I love about this guide. It goes beyond the surface because remember what we were saying earlier, it's a people-centric job.
Right.
You're interacting with clients, you're managing expectations, you're dealing with, potentially awkward situations.
For sure.
Those soft skills are absolutely essential.
It's almost like being an ambassador for your own cleaning business,
Mhm.
even if you're working for someone else.
Mhm.
You're representing yourself, your work ethic, building that trust we were talking about.
Right.
So let's say you're new to this whole cleaning scene, right? How do you even begin to showcase those soft skills in an interview when you might not have a ton of direct experience?
That's where storytelling comes in handy.
Storytelling.
Yeah. Everyone has a story, right? Even without years on the job.
Right.
Think about times you've had to be organized, manage your time effectively. Maybe you planned a school event or juggled a busy schedule. It doesn't have to be cleaning related.
Okay.
It's about demonstrating those transferable skills.
So it's like instead of just saying, I'm a great communicator, you're giving a concrete example that backs it up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Remember that time I had to organize that bake sale and I had to wrangle all those parents and kids? Okay, I'm seeing the connection now.
You got it. It's all about painting that picture for the interviewer. Now let's take it a step further. You've got your core skills, you've prepped some stellar stories, maybe you've even used that AI to anticipate some questions. But here's where it gets really interesting, those curveball questions.
Oh.
The ones they throw at you to see how you think on your feet.
Oh, those are the worst. Like,
Yeah.
how do you even prepare for that?
Well, RoleCatcher, again, being incredibly helpful,
Okay.
offers some examples that are specific to domestic cleaning. They've got questions about handling difficult clients, tricky cleaning tasks.
Okay, so not just like how do you load a dishwasher, but more like what happens when the client hates how you loaded the dishwasher?
Exactly. And this is where understanding what the interviewer is really looking for is key.
All right, let's break it down. They ask you this super specific question, right?
Yeah.
How do you handle a client who's like micromanaging your every move while you're trying to clean? What's the secret sauce to nailing those answers?
It's about showcasing your thought process.
Okay.
It's less about the right answer and more about demonstrating your problem-solving skills, your ability to stay calm under pressure, how you apply your experience to real-world scenarios.
So it's less about like knowing the perfect way to fold a fitted sheet
Right.
and more about showing you can handle a picky client with like grace and professionalism.
Yeah. Now you're getting it. You've hit the nail on the head. It's about showcasing that you're adaptable, resourceful, and can handle those unexpected situations with a cool head.
It's funny, you know, how we often like pigeonhole jobs and don't realize all the skills they actually need.
Totally.
Like hearing you talk about the strategy involved in landing a cleaning job, there's this whole other layer of like planning and self-presentation. It's kind of cool.
It's true. Every job has its nuances, no matter how simple it might seem from the outside. And what's interesting about domestic cleaning, like we've been talking about, is this balance between like technical skill and that human element, you know.
Yeah.
You can be the best cleaner in the world, but if you can't manage client expectations and communicate effectively,
Right.
you're going to run into some roadblocks.
It's like you're juggling multiple roles at once. You're a cleaning expert, a communicator,
Okay.
a time manager,
Right.
a bit of a psychologist maybe, figuring out how to navigate those client relationships.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this whole conversation so fascinating. We often focus so much on the hard skills, you know, how to clean a bathtub, how to fold a fitted sheet.
Right.
But those soft skills, the ability to adapt, problem solve, build rapport, those are universally valuable.
Absolutely. Those are the skills that translate to any job, any industry, even just navigating life in general, right?
100%. And the great thing is, even if you're just starting out, you can still highlight those soft skills in an interview.
Okay. So how do you do that? How do you showcase those skills if you don't have years of experience to back it up?
Think about your past experiences, even if they're not directly related to cleaning. Have you ever had to deal with a difficult teammate on a group project?
Oh, for sure.
Or maybe you had to organize a fundraising event or something?
Yeah.
Those experiences demonstrate your ability to communicate, problem solve, handle pressure, all those things we've been talking about.
So it's about like connecting those dots for the interviewer, showing them that even without years of experience specifically in cleaning, you've got the core skills to succeed.
Exactly. And that's where preparation comes in. Think about the stories you can tell, the experiences you can draw on to really illustrate those skills.
So it's like prepping for a presentation almost.
Yes, exactly. You wouldn't just wing it, right? You'd
Yeah.
gather your materials, practice your delivery,
Right.
make sure you're coming across as confident and prepared.
It's like that saying, chance favors the prepared mind or something like that. You can have all the potential in the world, but
Yeah.
if you don't put in the work to like showcase it,
Right.
those opportunities might just pass you by.
I couldn't agree more. And that's what I appreciate about resources like this RoleCatcher platform.
Yeah.
They're providing the tools and insights that empower people to put their best foot forward.
For sure. It's like having a secret weapon, you know, a guide to navigating this whole job hunting world, which can be overwhelming.
Definitely.
And speaking of guides, the RoleCatcher Career Guide mentioned something that I thought was interesting, this whole idea of career advancement. Like, could someone realistically start as a domestic cleaner and like build a whole empire?
It's definitely possible.
Wow. Really?
We see it all the time. People who start small, maybe with just a few clients, And through hard work, dedication, a little bit of business savvy,
Yeah,
they grow their operations into something much larger.
that's so cool. It just shows you there's room for growth and ambition in any field, really.
Exactly. It's about seeing the potential even in unexpected places. And who knows, maybe one of our listeners today will be the next big cleaning industry success story.
I love that. So to wrap things up, if you're out there considering a career in domestic cleaning, don't underestimate it. Dive into those RoleCatcher resources, hone those skills, and approach it with a spirit of learning and growth. You never know where it might lead.